Before we start, this video just contains my thoughts, assumptions and my own opinion about this upcoming movie, although I'll try to support them with sources as much as I can. With Jurassic World being released in 2015, the Jurassic franchise got revived 14 years after Jurassic Park 3. The movie was a huge success and featured some newer ideas like genetically modified hybrids and relationships between humans and dinosaurs based on mutual respect. Only 3 years later, Jurassic World's sequel followed, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom's plot led to the dinosaurs getting off the island by a group of humans who were tasked with saving them, and after a black market came to a standstill by the heroes of the movie, they finally escaped into the American mainland after they flee from the Lockwood Mansion. Fans were more critical about this movie because of its plot, the characters and the portrayal of dinosaurs. The third movie that is supposed to come out in 2022 is called Jurassic World Dominion. And already the title does bring up a question: whom's Dominion? Malcolm's speech by the end of Fallen Kingdom may give a hint. Let's take a look at some facts around Dominion. The movie is scheduled to be released in 2022. Colin Trevorrow, who also is the director, wrote the screenplay together with Emily Carmichael. It is based upon a story by Trevorrow and Derek Connolly. Trevorrow and Connolly also were the minds behind the script of Fallen Kingdom. And as we all know, that movie got also criticized for its plot. And who is Emily Carmichael? She was a co-writer for the plots of Pacific Rim, Uprising and Battle at Big Rock. Especially the former didn't turn out to be that good, and the latter is also lacking in my opinion. And Trevorrow? Well, let me put it that way. He seems to be a good director, but he should better leave writing stories to other people. Now the cast. Dominion's cast is apparently quite extensive, as it not just features several characters from Jurassic World and its sequel, but also from Jurassic Park, the very first movie of the franchise. Let's just list what's confirmed so far. Owen Grady, Claire Dearing, Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, Ellie Sattler, Zia Rodriguez, Franklin Webb, Maisie Lockwood, Barry Samben, Laurie Crothers, Henry Wu, Lewis Dodgson. Further actors whose roles are yet unknown: Mamoudou Athie, DeWanda Wise, Scott Hayes, Dichen Lakeman, Dimitri Tivayos. Yes, you heard that right. That Dimitri Tivayos, part of the DJ duo Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. This cast is ridiculously oversized. I have serious doubts that the producers will succeed in giving all these characters a concrete reason to be part of this movie at all. Take a look at Barry and Laurie. Even in Jurassic World they were incredibly blank characters that only served their purpose for the plot, but never got really introduced to the audience. And now they are supposed to reappear in Dominion after they were discarded for Fallen Kingdom? Trevorrow said that the friendship between Owen and Barry could carry on in the new movie. Yes, and? That's not a reason to bring Barry back, that's more like a belated justification. Apart from perhaps a side plot with Blue, there probably won't be a good, satisfying reason to have him back, seeing how Blue is the last living velociraptor on Earth by now. What about Zia and Franklin? Seriously, I don't know any person who liked those two characters. I simply don't understand why they are part of the next movie again. They were pointless and annoying.
It's the T-Rex, it's the T-Rex, it's the T-Rex, Claire, it's the T-Rex, it's the T-Rex, it's the T-Rex.
Stop! It's not the T-Rex. See? Not a T-Rex!
I guess you understand why. Maisie's role in Fallen Kingdom and the subplot of her being a human clone was barely interesting and had like nothing to do with the overall plot. Why does she reappear? Oh, right. Can't make a dinosaur movie without kids. Owen Grady and Claire Dearing suffered from being more or less blank characters, and especially Claire turned from the cold-blooded manager in Jurassic World to the personification of Greenpeace and PETA in Fallen Kingdom. Her role was not really plausible and hardly likable. Bringing the trio from Jurassic Park back is an interesting idea, but I fear that they are just there for nostalgia. Pretty much like Malcolm's appearance in Fallen Kingdom. We will see. I have no idea what roles Mamoru Oshii and DeWanda Wise will take. It is confirmed it will be lead roles, though, but I have an assumption in regards to Scott Hayes in Digital Lake Man. That's right, adult versions of the kids from Jurassic Park. Why? Again, I'd assume in order to trigger nostalgia feelings for the audience. Will they be beneficial to the plot if they appear at all, of course? Maybe, but I doubt it. Same applies to Dimitri Tsivayos. I believe they are just trying to make fans happy by filling up the cast with famous faces. Now let's get to dinosaurs. Blue became like one of the protagonists in Jurassic World and especially in Fallen Kingdom. However, her entrance did quite change over time. In Jurassic World she got portrayed as a wild animal that has a relationship with her keeper based on respect, but she isn't docile, more like the opposite. She won't hesitate to turn against humans, even against Owen. And in Fallen Kingdom? Well, she kind of got reduced to Owen's Jurassic guard dog that only attacks his enemies and the bad guys in general. Like I said in one of my previous videos already, dinosaurs are animals, and animals act by instincts, not morals. Fallen Kingdom turned what was originally an unpredictable, barely controllable prehistoric predator into a human in a velociraptor's body, despite Blue living solitarily during the time between the first Jurassic World movie and Fallen Kingdom, which is at least 3 years by then. In Dominion, Blue supposedly roams wild and free. The interesting question is how she will be portrayed, as a wild and fierce animal that relies on her instincts, or as a moralized lapdog. A Giganotosaurus will appear in Dominion. That's great, new dinosaurs are always welcome, but what about the well-known Tyrannosaurus and its waterborne copy, the Mosasaurus? Will they appear? I'm pretty sure the former will do so. I'm not sure in regards to the Mosasaurus. But Fallen Kingdom did already prove that both are not really necessary for the plot anymore. The T-Rex's main role is to please the audience by rolling around and simply being there, and the Mosasaurus pleases the audience by killing background characters. If both don't appear in Dominion, fine. If they do appear, however, they better do so with a concrete reason aside from nostalgia and pointless action. And now let's get to something truly critical. A leak. A plot leak. I first discovered it on the website universalclips.com on the 20th of February 2020. It got removed later and the website now looks like this. It says, when young Maisie is abducted by dino poachers, Owen and Claire set out to find and rescue her, with their journey taking them to a dinosaur habitat operated by a global corporation with a possibly sinister agenda, that's now even being investigated by Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler. This first synopsis never got confirmed, but the fact it got taken down speaks volumes in my opinion. So, assuming this synopsis is the actual plot of Dominion, this has nothing to do with the Jurassic franchise anymore. This feels more like Indiana Jones or James Bond with dinosaurs to spice things up a bit for the human protagonists. This is not a movie about dinosaurs or a theme park. This is a science fiction movie with a focus on humans. Dinosaurs are like part of the scenario to make it more interesting. When you look at the human-dinosaur power struggle in the Jurassic Park era, the dinosaurs were portrayed as highly dangerous, almost superior animals, by outsmarting experienced game hunters like Muldoon and also the T-Rex, which completely wrecked a car, throwing it from a cliff and nearly killing 2 major characters, as well as actually killing Gennaro after demolishing his hiding place. By the time we reach Jurassic World Dominion, the whole power struggle has flipped to the point we now have humans poaching dinosaurs and even going as far as, at least teased, kidnapping the clone child Maisie as part of the plot. And what is this about a global corporation with a possibly sinister agenda? Both Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom suffered from having too many black and white, good and evil characters in comparison to Jurassic Park. The story of the evil super company is so old and just boring. And since we are talking about it, it is confirmed that Louis Dodgson will appear as the CEO of Biosyn Genetics, a rival of InGen. Could it be that he and Biosyn Genetics will be that global corporation with a possibly sinister agenda? Only an assumption, but it would fit. Also, fun fact, as you can see on the screenshot, Jurassic World 3 gets named as Arcadia. Probably a production name, but there is actually a link to the previous Jurassic movie. The ship the mercenaries used to get off Isla Nublar in Fallen Kingdom was named Arcadia. This entire synopsis literally features pointless characters, a plot that feels like any science fiction action movie, and the typical good and bad guys. Trevorrow said that Dominion will be a science thriller and that it will be a celebration of the entire franchise. Furthermore, he said, I think what's very important and what could fall apart if just dinosaurs are everywhere all the time. I think any kind of global acceptance that they are just around doesn't feel real to me, because even now when you think of animals, when was the last time you saw a tiger walking down the street? We know there are tigers, we know they are out there, but to me it's very important that we keep this grounded in the context of our relationship with wild animals today. Basically, Trevorrow wants to tell a story about humans having to deal with the consequences of what they have done, reviving dinosaurs. In Trevorrow's words, and we knew that we didn't want to continue to make movies about the dangers of messing with science. We want to tell a story about where we are now, which is that we have messed with science, we have fundamentally altered our world, and now we are dealing with the consequences. This overall idea is not necessarily bad. However, these statements contradict with the plot leaked and the experiences from the previous movie, Fallen Kingdom. It suffered from not few problems and issues. Predictable scenes, plot armor, pointless characters, moralized dinosaurs, black and white characters, far-fetched plot. And the screenplay writers of that movie also wrote the script for Dominion. Taking the completely oversized cast into consideration, this raises many doubts about what Dominion will be and where it will take the franchise.